阿弥陀佛，大家好。法会即将要开始了，请大家将你的手机调为震动或者关机，谢谢大家的合作。真佛宗美国彩虹雷藏寺白衣大士如意宝珠观音护摩法会开始，与会大众请起立，恭迎真佛宗创办人无上法王根本传承上师圣尊莲生活佛师母莲香上师，请大家虔诚合掌，唱诵莲花童子心咒。 师尊要跟尊的各级弘法人员及同门一起打招呼哦。
We welcome our lineage root guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng, to enter into the Homa Hall today to preside over the Homa fire offering ceremony of Chintamani Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva, the white robe Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva with her wish fulfilling money jewel.
好，我们现在恭请师尊带领我们大家做大礼拜。礼拜根本传承及十方三世一切诸佛，嗡啊吽，观想独立，为天心三引，二拜诸菩萨，嗡啊吽，观想独立，为天心三引，三拜诸护法金刚，嗡啊吽，观想独立，为天心三引，四平等于其手。恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。 上师上座。
Inviting Simu Vajramasa Lianxiang to please take the Dharma seat. Inviting Rinpoche and all the Dharma masters, all of our venerables to please take the seats. And we are inviting all participants and viewers to please take your seats. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng to please bless the prayers of the primary supplicants. The offering of Hatha. Let us now join our palms with reverence, and we would like to invite Vajramaster Si Lian Wang to represent all of us to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage root Guru as the symbol of the highest honor. Visualize true Buddha lineage. Namo Vayukana Buddha, Namo Buddha Lokana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padma Kumara, Namo Living Buddha Liansheng. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. Recite the root Guru mantra 7 times. Perform the visualization of the 4 immeasurables. Visualize ancestors and relatives from the father's side on your right, from the mother's side on your left, friends and teachers behind you, enemies and karmic creditors in front of you, all sentient beings around you practicing tantric dharma and ultimately attaining Buddhahood. Wake up call. Recite purification mantras and the Atheti mantra. Recite invocation mantra. We sincerely invoke our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng, Namo White Maha Padma Kumara, Namo Lotus Light Self Mastery Buddha, Namo True Buddha School Lineage Gurus. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Chintamani Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Chintamani Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Chintamani Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva. Namo Golden Mother of the Primordial Jade Pond. Namo 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Namo True Buddha School 8 Primary Deities. Namo Yamantaka. Namo Akhalanata. Namo 4 Heavenly Kings. Namo Sima Bodhisattva. Rainbow temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities. All the deities enshrined at the True Buddha Tantric Quarter, at the Seattle Lesang Temple, and at the South Mountain Retreat. Rainbow temples, mountain god, earth god, plant god, wind god, water god, heavenly fire god, dragon gods, all divinities, as well as the city god, to please radiate light and bless this Homa. Great Home is using visualization for student guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Second, to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Third, to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth, head bow. Great mandala offering. Form the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole space. Make the offering above to the lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, the main deity of Homa, Namo Chintamani Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, 4 continents and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and marriage purge our karma to allow for civilization. Fourfold refuge. Visualize our lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Armor protection. Form Vajraklapsa Mudra. Recite Vajrapani mantra 7 times. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian Sheng to perform blessings with mala. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng to set ceremonial demarcation, to bless the registration forms, hallmark cards, and all the offerings with Vajrabell and scepter. Please stand up and join your palms with reverence. And we are inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng to perform the ritual of opening the Homa fire pit, to set ceremonial demarcation around it, to make all the offerings, to perform mudra transformations for enrichments, purification, magnetization, subjugation, and birth deliverance. And let's please the assembly recite the Hat mantra of Chintamani Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva.
Om
圣尊莲生活佛，生法王。
Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng to please ascend to the Homa throne. Inviting Sumo Vajra Master Lianxiang to please take the seat. Inviting Rinpoche and all the Dhamma Masters to please take the seats. Inviting all the Venerables and all participants as well as viewers to please take the seats.
Om
Recite that mantras for 8 principal deities and incan Buddha Amitabha.
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Panamo Ding Tong Soha. Om Ha 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 Wei Samoye Soha. Om Jali Juli Junti Soha. Om Jambala Chanam Chanaye Soha. Om A Hum Beta Guru Bema Sidi Hum Se. Om A Hum Guru Be Ahu Sasamaha Yen Sheng Sidi Hum. 得亚他 Om 贝卡子呀，贝卡子呀，玛哈贝卡子呀，那这三摩卡特黑梭哈，那么361519,500，同名同号阿弥陀佛。那么361519,500，同名同号阿弥陀佛。那么361519,500，同名同号阿弥陀佛。
Recite the supplication to the Buddha to stay in the Saha world. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness the virtuous and marvelous Tantrika, all Buddhas of the 10 directions, compassionate Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, and Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are stricken, tumbling in the misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage the deluded ones. 3 jewels, eminent wonders light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, human and devas, rely on His Vajra body for the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments. We disciples of Buddha plead that you stay in the Saha world to turn the Dharma wheel, to benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Merit dedication. May all who uphold the Buddha ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, repaying fourfold generosities from above, aiding those in the 3 realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Like the Buddha, may we liberate all. To Buddha's school disciples, wholeheartedly pray to the main deity of Homa today. Namo Chintamani Avalokitesvara, the first and foremost consort of the Lotus Mother Samaya. May your money jewel radiates yellow bright light to protect our lineage Guru with great health, safety, and high energy. We also pray to Chintamani Avalokitesvara to bless His Holiness so that all purification, enrichment, magnetization, and subjugation can be fulfilled. All things are accomplished. Continually stay in samsara to turn to Dharma with self-mastery, spontaneity, and bliss. Inviting His Holiness to perform the overall merit dedication. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Chintamani Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva, the white robe Avalokiteswara with the wish-fulfilling money jewel. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Chintamani Avalokiteswara. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Chintamani Avalokiteswara. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to Chintamani Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva. We pray to Chintamani Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva to guide Rose Renate, Renate Rose, Lian Hua Mei Si, and all the birth of spirits to be reborn into the Pure Land. We pray to Chintamani Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva. By your wish-fulfilling Dharma to subdue the epidemics and coronavirus so that they disappear soon. We pray to Chintamani Avalokiteswara to please radiate light and bless all participants and True Buddha School disciples so that they gain great health, all wishes fulfilled, calamities transform into auspiciousness, and with strong spiritual commitment. Let the money jewel radiate brilliant light upon the world, the four holy realms and the six rebirth realms. The compassionate Avalokiteswara Bodhisattva, please shower compassion upon sentient beings and bless us with ample resources and complete wisdom, perfect harmony, love and respect, and all subjugation according to our wishes. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya.
May we have Buddhist affinity, may we have affinity with the Buddha, may we have affinity with the Buddha land in all of our lives. May we have affinity with Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva in all of our lives. to Chintamani Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Gods in heavens, gods on earth, may we be far from all calamities, may all calamities abandon us. Let all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be completed, be granted. May all enemies and enmities disappear. May all afflictions and worries disappear. May all hindrances and obstacles disappear. May all pandemics disappear. Recite 100 syllable mantra 3 times. Great homages and visualization, first to root Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration on the ground. Release mudra, second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for prostration on the ground. Release mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for prostration on the ground. Release mudra. Fourth half bow. Recite completion mantra. With the greatest applause, let us show our utmost gratitude to our lineage root Guru for presiding over this Chintamani Homa fire offering ceremony. Now, let's join our palms with reverence, and together we inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dharma teachings. First, let's pay homage to the lineage Gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zengkong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, homage to Master Dupten Dorji, homage to the 3 jewels of the altar, and homage to the main deity of Homa today, Chintamani Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Sumu, Tanchen Katso, Tutan City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon. How do you do? Aisteru. Sarange. Hola, amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sugoi. Ichiba. Kimochi ii. Kumi. Yappy. Bling bling. Konnichiwa.
先通知大家哈。
I would like to announce for next Sunday,
8月2号
August 2nd.
下个礼拜已经是8月。
It's August already next
8
week?
月2号
August
下
2nd,
午3点 PM
Sunday at 3 p.m.
是做这个嘎拉巴迪
There will be Ganapati,
红财神
the Red Jambala,
红财神护摩法
Red Jambala
嘎拉
Ganapati
巴蒂 Fire Offering Ceremony
Fire Offering Ceremony.
红财神的护摩法会。那么红财神就是
And Ganapati
在密教里面
in
可以
Tantrayana
讲他是很大的财神，
is a major wealth deity.
那你们这个
And he's also
不
the
用
main deity
不要
for
钱的，不
resources.
要财的，
So if you don't want any money
主席
or you don't want any riches, then you don't need to register for primary supplicants. That's it. Nothing more to say.
嘎拉巴蒂这很好。
Ganapati. It's good.
那每一次这个要开始说法之前，
Every time
就
before the Dhamma teaching,
拿一个笑话做引子。
I like to start with the joke.
这个笑话是这样子的。
The
有
joke
一
goes,
个人，他患有火
someone
毛病，火急的毛病，
is stuttering
他在沙漠里面快要饿死了。
and he's about to
突然
die
之间呢，
in the desert.
他的脚
And all of a
踢
sudden,
到那个神灯，
his feet kick on a genie
结果
lamp,
神灯里面的主人就出现，
and the genie
以
got
前就是
out.
基尼
We call it genie.
那神灯的主人就讲，
And the genie
我可
said,
以实现你一个愿望，
I can fulfill one
那你就赶快
of
说
your
吧。
wish. Please say it.
这个人回
Quickly.
答，
And he answered,
因为他口急嘛，
because he stutters, right? So he said,
我要
I want. old wife.
神灯啊，立刻就变出一个美女。
And the genie immediately transformed a beautiful lady for him.
已经都快饿死了，还那么贪色。
And you're about to die and you still want beauty? That's so sad. And then the genie disappeared. And this person continued, I want old wife cake. There's an inspiration from this joke. It's very simple. Every time we listen or talk, or when we listen to the Dharma, we need to listen to its completely. We need to listen to all of it. So in our spiritual cultivation, we cannot just get things out of context. First, you need to practice the path of merit accumulation, and then you practice the preliminary practices. And then you see the path, and then you practice the path. And lastly, it's the ultimate path. You attain the ultimate. So from the basics to the ultimate. And in Tantrayana, we need to first do the preliminary practices, the Root Guru Yoga, and then the Yidam practice, and then the inner practices, and then the highest yoga tantra, and lastly the great perfection. So it's stage by stage. You cannot just practice the highest yoga tantra because that's what you heard. So that's the meaning of the joke. In our Buddhist studies, we have to follow the stages. We have to start with the development stage and then lastly the perfection stage. You cannot skip the steps unless you have cultivated spiritually in the past lives, that you have a sharp spiritual root. So your spiritual root is extremely strong and sharp in order for you to have great attainments. Or most people have to cultivate spiritually according to the stages, and you cannot get them out of context. Or pick and choose. So today, we perform the Chintamani Avalokitesvara. It's very simple. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva already has great Dharma power, very high Dharma power. And on top of it, she has the Chintamani, which is the money jewel. And the four attainment practices can be attained through the money jewel that radiates bright yellow light. If you want purification, there's a way. For enrichment or magnetization, or subjugation. They are the methods. So Dharma practices related to the Chintamani or Mani jewel. So if you practice until you gain spiritual union with Chintamani Avalokitesvara or Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, then whatever you do, it will go smoothly because you have this wish fulfilling jewel. Then of course whatever you do will go smoothly. If you gain spiritual union with Chintamani, then everything will go really well. And not encountering any obstructions or hindrances, they all will be naturally eliminated. So those are the Dhamma practices for Chintamani Avalokitesvara. And the appearance, the white robe Avalokitesvara wearing white garment, and his hand, one hand is holding the Mani jewel, the other hand is forming the wish fulfilling mudra. And our mudra is like this. And the sixth syllable is she, because Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva belongs to the lotus division of Amitabha Buddha. So his sixth syllable is she, the same as Amitabha's. I have learned the divine mantra of the Chintamani Avalokitesvara. And then you add the Jie-zi, Jie-zi, Jie-zi for the Mani jewel. That's the mantra for Chintamani Avalokitesvara. Now, we will enter into the question and answer. Amitabha. I like Grandmaster's advice. Trapping, neutering, and then releasing or adopting a pet is like a replacement for euthanasia. It is to control the numbers of homeless dogs and cats by human beings. Is this good? Is it, will they bear karmic retribution from doing so? That the name of the disciple is Lian Hua Jia Huan. Trapping, neutering, releasing or adopting a pet is like a replacement for euthanasia. It is to control the numbers of homeless dogs and cats by human beings. Is this good? Will they bear karmic retribution from doing so? Wow. This is something worth thinking. Tanzen Katso, you should understand this. Think about it. Today is Tanzen Katsu's birthday. Oh, next Tuesday. Then why did you cut the cake today.
他们提早是吧？
They do it earlier.
是提早给他庆祝是吧？提早也算呢，没有搞错。
Well, because we celebrate earlier, so that's your birthday
好
then.
啦，这个问题真的是谁能够答得好一点？
So who can answer it
谁
better?
有把握答得很正确？
Who
那个
has the
流浪犬
confidence
跟
to
流浪
answer
猫
it correctly?
给他结扎，
So if
给他
you
放，
trap,
或者是叫人家
neuter,
领养，
or release or
是
adopt
不是善良？
homeless dogs and cats,
要不要承担过？
is that a good thing? Do you
社会
need
的
to bear the karmic retribution?
连生上师，
Master Lian Sheng should answer.
报告师尊，这个应该是善良之举，因为在那
It should be
个
good
现
thing
在美国呢，有很多专门
because
在
now
帮
in
忙这些流
America
浪猫、流浪狗做
there are
结扎的
many
一些团体。那他们呢
groups
是
who help
因为
the
如果你
homeless
不
dogs
去
and cats
控制他们的这个生育的话
to
呢，
neuter
会有
them
很多这些流浪猫、流浪犬的
because
这些
if they don't
小
control
小
it,
冒出来
then there would be
那反而
many
呢，这
more
些动物呢，在外
homeless
面流浪
dogs
久
and
了，它可
cats,
能1-2年就会死掉的。
and
所
they
以
would
有很多
die
人就会去帮
being
他们做结
homeless
扎，
out
让
there
他们
in
不会
1
再
or
继
2
续生育。
years.
那
So
其他的
therefore
有一些
many
领养
people
的
would
行为
neuter
呢，就
them
是
so that they
叫
don't
你不要去
continue
买
to
那些
bear
饲养的那些流浪犬、流浪猫，你就是去领养那些
puppies and
已经
kittens
被捡到那个动物中心的那些动物去。那这样子的话，可以
and
减少很
we
多这个市区里面
invite
的一些
the
这些
pet
流浪的犬。
owners or
所以这个应该
adopters
是一
to
种善行。
find
好，
the homeless dogs and cats in the
是否要
pound.
承担果报？
So the question is, will they bear karmic retribution from doing so?
孙弟子觉得，如果这是一种善行的话，那应该是一
I
个善
think
的
it's a
果
good
报。
thing, so they should have a good
那
retribution.
刚刚那个丹正教授也是这样子讲，
And just now, Tanchen Katsu said the same
同
thing.
样的。这个，那么答案已经有了，
So I
我也
guess
是这样子想的。
that's the answer. That's what I
我
think
们
too.
是师尊、莲生、丹真教授都是这样子想的，
So 3 of us think this way.
有好的答案，
So now you have the good
就
answer
是因为这是做善事嘛。
because you have good intention. So it's a good
这
thing.
个流浪狗很多，流浪
Otherwise, we
流浪
have
猫
so
非常的
many
多，
homeless dogs and
那也
cats,
是会传染细菌的，
and they can even
而且
transmit
它们也容易死亡。
contagious diseases, and they die easily. So that should be a
好
good thing.，
谢谢。那么第二个问题，
The second question,
顶礼师佛，请问师尊，
homage to Grandmaster.
用莲花童子心咒
Can we use
来
Padma
做
Kumara
咒
mantra
水可以吗？
to
做法依
when
照
we are
大悲
blessing
咒水
water?
一样
Do
做
we
法
follow the same
可以吗？
procedure as for the
请师
Mahakaruni,
尊开示。
Mahakaruna Dharani, or Great Compassion
这
water?
个马靠的弟子，
It's a disciple
莲
from
花
Macau,
观药，
Lian Hua Guan Yao from
澳
Macau.
门的弟子，莲花观药，用莲花童子的心咒来做咒水，做法依
Can
照
we
大悲咒
use
水一
Padma
样
Kumara
做。
mantra when we are blessing
可以吗？
water? And do we follow the same procedure as for the Great Compassion water?
我问一下莲花童子，
Let me ask Padma Kumara.
他的回答非常中性。
His answer is very neutral.
他是这样子讲的。
He said,
已经有了大悲咒水。
We already have the great compassion water.
已经有了大悲咒水。
We already have Mahakaruna Dharani water.
多尊的千手千眼观世音菩萨。
And the great compassion water is blessed by many deities, 1,000 eyes, 1,000 arms, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. And his Mahakaruna Dharani
的做法，他已经有了。
and also there's the procedure too.
莲花童子的心咒来做咒水，
But for Padma Kumara Hat Mantra,
头上安头，
to do the
头上安头。
water blessing is the same as putting a head on top of the head. That's not necessary.
那还可以说，
If there is
制作一个
no
法出来做莲花
mantra water, then we can create one using
大
Padma
悲咒
Kumara.
水的力量非常的大，非常的强。
However,
我们还是以大悲
the
咒水
Mahakaruna Dharani has an extremely great power.
的莲花
So
童
we
子
should
咒水
just
大家
focus the
都没有听过
Mahakaruna Dharani water or great compassion water. Nobody have ever heard of Padma
还是
Kumara
以
mantra
大悲
water.
咒水做就可
So
以，
in my opinion,
不一定要用莲花童子心咒来做咒水。
it is
你
good
以莲
to
花
have
童子心咒来
the
做咒水，
Mahakaruna Dharani
好了。
water. We don't have to
我
have
们
another
也可
one.
以有准提咒水。
Because if we do the Padma Kumara mantra water, then there would also be Jundi mantra water, Amitabha mantra water, Vairukana mantra water,
所有的金
Five
刚
Dhyani
神
Buddhas
佛、
mantra
诸
water.
尊，全部都有咒水。
All the Herukas and all deities have their own mantra
所
water.
以我们尽量归于一。
So it's better if just to focus to one. Don't complicate things.
像我们生活中有那么多的这个雷藏寺，
Like True Buddha School has so many
我们那么
temples
多的
and spiritual centers and
每一
chapters,
个做一样咒水。
and everyone does their own mantra water.
请问你要喝哪一种咒水？
So which water would you take?
我还是喝大悲咒水。
I would still drink the Mahakaruna
已
Dharani
经有大
water
悲咒水了，我们就用大悲咒水就可
because
以
we
了。
already have Mahakaruna Dharani water. That's good
用莲
enough.
花童子的心咒了。
We don't need to use Padma Kumara Hat mantra.
这个很简单的，很简单的这个答案，
It's very simple answer.
已经有了，
We already
就
have
不
it.
用再去做。
Don't need to complicate matters.
啊，我是这样子想的。这个刚刚问了，这个
That's what I
佛
think.
菩萨保持中立，
The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, when I consulted,
你要
they
自己喝，你用
stay
莲花童
neutral.
子咒水，你要自己喝，你自己喝。
if you want to drink water and you want to make it into Padma Kumara mantra water, go
把
ahead.
这个这些
But
咒水
I
的
don't
事
want
情
to
搞混
complicate things.
单纯一点，我们就喝大悲咒水就可以。
The simpler the better. We'll just take Mahakaruna Dharani water.
再来第三个问题，持咒的时候可以把两个、
The next
三
question,
个主尊
when
的
we
心
chant
咒
mantra,
连在
can we
一起
link
念
two
吗
or more mantras together? Like
连生悉地吽唵咕噜咕嘞唵咕噜咕嘞出力所哈。
Om Guru Lansan Siddhi Hom Om Guru Guli Juli Soha.
连生悉地吽唵咕噜咕嘞出力所哈。可以吗？
Can we?
除非你是修 莲花童子跟咕噜咕噜佛母一起合修。
If you combine the practice of Padma Kumara and Guru Gule Buddha Mother, however, is it okay to combine the practice of Padma Kumara and Guru Gule? Typically speaking, Padma Kumara is combined with Vajrasattva. You can combine the practices of Padma Kumara and Vajrasattva. But can you combine Padma Kumara and Guru Gule? You're too smart. Just like the question earlier, Padma Kumara mantra water. Now link 2 or more mantras together. Let me consult. The questions they ask is something I never thought of. They're really gifted. Their advice is the ones related can be chanted together. So, the mantras that are linked together can be chanted together. But if they don't have any relationship, then you should not make it as you like. I often said the egg, 1,000-year-old egg and salted eggs can be combined together. Chicken egg, 1,000-year-old egg and salted egg become the 3-color eggs, which is the bastard. Like a mix bastard. But when they are not related, you should not mix them together. The same thing when we cook. Certain things cannot be mixed together. Certain things can be mixed together. Then it would taste good. But things that cannot be mixed together, that should not be mixed together. Like you put chili peppers and vinegar, garlic, salt and sugar, and seaweed and durian. Then that would be like recklessly mixed and muddled. So Om Guru Lien Sung Siti Hom and Om Pecha Sato Ahom Be are rather related. So Root Guru mantra and Vajrasattva mantra are related. And you should not mix any others that you don't know, that are not customarily linked together. Otherwise you may mix up really bad taste. So the answer the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas gave was neutral. We should not be too smart for ourselves. then you would create problem for yourself if you're such a smart ass. What is the best way to make our family members to become a Buddhist so that they are willing to take refuge in the three jewels? Is there a special practice so that they can create affinity with the Buddha? Please advise. I have talked about this before, right? Every time when you do your Dhamma practice, you visualize they are practicing together with you. Then you're increasing their affinity with Buddha. Every time you do your practice, you visualize he or she practicing together next to you. So, like we visualize your father and the father's clan, mother, father on your right and the mother and mothers on the left, and friends and teachers behind you, enemies and karmic creditors in front of you, and all around you, all sentient beings together practicing. Then you are helping all the sentient beings of the 6 rebirth realms already. Then that kind of Dhamma practice is the most complete. If you want your family members to become Buddhists, then you visualize them to be sitting around you when you practice, and visualize them practicing together with you, then you gradually increasing their Buddha's affinity. We've talked about this before. That would be the best way. And that is also a special practice for family members or relatives that have not taken refuge to create affinity with the Buddha. Just visualize them practicing together with you. Or give them the great compassion water to drink. Make them frequently drink the Mahakaruna Dharani water. Or let them eat the fruits or the offering items that have been offered to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that would increase their affinity. If that still doesn't work, then you write down the mantra and you burn it and then put it into water and to let them drink it. That would also increase their affinity with the Buddha. So even if you don't succeed in this lifetime, then in the future lifetimes they would, because you have planted the seeds of the Buddha. This is important. The next one, asked by Lian Hua Ji He from China. Is the body vow the same as generating bodhicitta? What is a bodhi vow? Bodhi's vow is the vow for the nature of mind. We often say body, but do you know what body means? Body is the nature of the mind. And the nature of the mind is also Buddha nature. It's the same as Buddha nature. So the body vow is the same as the vows of Buddha nature. Of course it is generating bodhicitta. And generating bodhicitta is the mind to deliver the sentient beings widely. when we make the merit dedication, may all who uphold the Buddha ascend to the realm of utmost bliss. This is generating bodhicitta. We pray that all who uphold or chant the name of the Buddha be reborn in the Buddha land and repaying fourfold generosities above. That's generating bodhicitta. And helping those in the 3 lower realms, that's also generating bodhicitta. Seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Once you see the Buddha, you transcended life and death. Like the Buddha, you liberate all. That's also generating bodhicitta. Like the Buddha, you're liberating all sentient beings. That's generating bodhicitta. So, is body vow the same as generating bodhicitta? Yes, that's correct. So, by making the vow of body, it's the same as giving happiness to sentient beings, to uproot the suffering of sentient beings, and you to do them with joy, and to forsake your own body and everything in order to salvage and deliver sentient beings. And they are the 4 immeasurables: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. So, of course, the Bodhi vow is generating bodhicitta. There's this joke. Every time I went to the hair salon, the person will always ask, "How should I cut your hair?" I wonder, if you don't know how to cut hair, then why do you work in a hair salon? It's not very funny, huh? The hairdresser. There's another joke. We have so many swindlers these days, so please be careful. So today, when I was going out, I heard someone kept saying that, "Oh my God, it's so hot, I'm about to die." But I followed them around for 3 blocks, and yet they didn't die. Chinese have this problems that every time when it's like pain, it's painful to death. Like if you earn so much, you would say earn to death. Everything is related to death. So that's good. The Easterners, the Orientals, because the Buddha taught us that there was a great master that hanged the character death at the head of his bed to remind himself that he can die any time. So that's why he's very diligent in his spiritual cultivation. So today, in our Buddhist studies or Buddhist practice, we should have this kind of mindset. Always be mindful of death, that we train ourselves until death. like happy to death, or painful to death, or rich, wealthy to death, or cold to death, hot to death. And of course, death is the extreme. So today we practice Buddhism for what? To transcend life and death. That in the future, ultimately, you want to reach the realm of no birth and no death. When you succeed in your spiritual cultivation, then you would attain no birth and no death. Someone claims that nirvana is death. No, that's getting it out of context, because in it there is enlightenment. When you have attainment in our spiritual cultivation, the attainment is not only after death. You can have attainments while you're alive. Once you have the attainment, you have no afflictions whatsoever. Everything you can face with ease and naturally. You have no afflictions, nobody can harm you, you cannot be ridiculed or cursed. Someone that scolds you may die, but you're not dead yet. So the person that reprimands you may be really upset to death, but you're not. So you don't feel anything, you don't care about anything. You don't care about anything. Then you have no afflictions whatsoever, no troubles, no worries. Very wide open and infinite, boundless. Your mind doesn't have to dwell at anything. It is non-dwelling, and there is no particular reason either. You're very relaxed, at ease, and you are very happy. Whatever you encounter, you just face it, and you don't keep it in your mind. This is a very profound, very high philosophy. So for Buddhist practitioners, should be like that. So if you hear a statement, then you keep ruminating on it and keep it in your mind, and then you start being afflicted and be disturbed by it. No. So the good thing about Grandmaster, see, the monkey from Malaysia in the past, or the Yao Zong from Singapore, and Mr. Yao from Taiwan, Mr. Tang from Taiwan, they united on the internet and slandered Grandmaster really badly, but Grandmaster did not jump off the bridge in Penghu. I didn't think about them often. At those times, many people around me kept telling me it's very bad, very severe. I didn't feel anything. Where? What? Didn't feel anything. And someone printed out all those defamation and label and showed it to me. I read them all, but I didn't feel anything about it. Like holding a wife's hand, which is like the right hand is holding the left hand. No feeling whatsoever. So holding your own wife's hand is like your right hand holding your left hand. No feeling whatsoever. So the fact that Grandmaster can live amidst the defamation and slanders without any feelings whatsoever, I'm totally at ease and at peace. I sleep really well every night. I don't have enough sleep because every morning I have to get up and write. So you have to learn from Grandmaster about this kind of spirit. This is extremely marvelous. That a sadhaka, a spiritual cultivator, can practice until they reach the realm that you're completely unrelated to the world, but I continue to do good, not for a particular motive to be reborn in the heavenly realms or the Buddha land. No, I just do it out of my bodhicitta. I don't care about them. I forget about it as soon as I did it. As soon as I do it, I forget about it. Therefore, it's mentioned in the Diamond Sutra. Any mind that arises with no particular reason, so you just do good, not for any particular reason, then that would be a truly good deed. A true good deed. This is extremely important. Now, let's continue on Lamdre. The pain, each in the movement passage, of course. Wherever the chi goes, if it encounters the knots in the channels, then there would be pain. The meditation is a long meditation of bliss and emptiness. So bliss is emptiness and emptiness is bliss. So that at any time you're always happy. Grandmaster lives really happily. Why? Happy is a kind of sensation. It's a feeling. You know it yourself if you're happy, because you have no afflictions. Then of course you're happy. It's a kind of experience of sensation. And the ailment is the ailing lower body. This is talking about lower chi, constipation or problem with urination. The elderly should pay attention. If you have swollen prostate, then you would not be able to urinate properly. That would be very painful. So, constipation. What is the best kind of feces? It's not soft, but it's also not hard. It's just like a banana. And yellow, just like a banana. Not too soft and not too hard. I remember a disciple called Zhang Wenrui. And he had the problem with constipation, and now he's gotten stroke. That's lots of suffering, constipation. If you push it, then the anus will bleed. But if you don't defecate, then it would be stuck there. So when he traveled with us in Japan, every morning he had to use a spoon to scoop it out. And he asked his wife to scoop that really hard stuff to get it out. And we had to wait on the tour bus. He's still defecating in his room. Very painful. It could be as hard as rocks. Therefore, you need to pay attention to your diet. So, ailing lower body. So what that means is that your lower qi should not be heavier than your lower body. But for the ailing upper body, is the upper qi should not be heavier than your upper body. So if your poo is too soft, or that's not good. If it's too hard, it's no good. It should be just right, like a banana. That's the smoothest one. Then you feel good. And you feel happy. Otherwise, sitting on the toilet. You have this posture and that posture, and sometimes with red face and heavy neck, and that it still could not come out. And then you start taking laxative, and then you have diarrhea, just water. That's also suffering. So you shouldn't do that every day. Oh, God is still there because you don't have enough lower qi. And the skillful means as above. Like what we said earlier, 3 kinds, 3 methods. And for the upper qi, the locations at the throat chakra, the throat area, throat chakra. And the function is talking, laughing, swallowing, vomiting. Their function. The upper qi is the one that controls the voice and talking, laughing, swallowing, vomiting. The pain, the swollen or painful throat or inflammation of the throat. That would be troublesome. Grandmaster cannot have the inflamed or swollen throat, then I will not be able to give Dharma teaching. And I have a sore throat, then my voice would not sound right. Because the upper qi controls talking, laughing, swallowing, vomiting. And the pain is the inflamed or swollen throat. And meditation generated is a long, lucid consciousness meditation. Very stable and lucid meditation. Very clear and lucid meditation. And the ailments that you have sore throat, or you cannot talk, or stutters, like the stutterer that I talked about earlier. He wanted the old wife cake, but when he said, I want old wife, and then the genie give him a wife, and after the genie left, only then he said cake. So that's the problem about stutterer. I told this joke before. A really poor guy took his girlfriend to the nice restaurant for dinner, and someone asked, "Do you like this wine?" And he said, "I." Wow. And then immediately I poured the wine to him. It's like cursing. You know, do you want to open the bottle of wine? Open. It's like, are you joking? But in Chinese, it's like open. So the wine was very expensive. So problems with starters and coarse voice. Now, next is the peripheral qi. The location is at the top of the head and the 12 major joints. The peripheral qi is at the joints. This is a joint. This is a joint. This is a joint. Right here. The elbows, the wrists, the knees, and the legs. The 12 joints and the top of the head. So the peripheral qi is at the top of the head and the 12 major joints. And its function is for jumping, running, standing up, sitting down. So the peripheral qi does all these things: jumping, running, lifting, or sitting down. The functions of the peripheral qi. And the pain, if there is a problem, there will be aches in the head and the joints. So in the four limbs and the joints. And the meditation generated is the phenomena of all bliss and radiance inside the body. You would be able to attain bliss and clear light radiance. And the ailment is atrophy in the bones, tendons and muscles. Like people who suffer from stroke, their joints would become like this, would become twisted. If you're paralyzed, you would have atrophy in the muscles and the bones, and also hunchback. You cannot straighten your spine. You always stoop because the peripheral qi. So the qi that is in charge of the back is the peripheral qi. So it cannot hold it anymore. And the skillful means is the same as above. Okay, that's all for today. Xiaoming's grades are always bad, and the teacher asks, "How come your grades in class is much worse than your sports?" And Xiaoming said, "Well, teacher, you don't know. Don't know what? Because I have a team behind me when I play sport, but for taking tests, I'm on my own." A patient told the eye doctor, "I cannot see anything far away." And the doctor asked the patient to follow him and then go out and pointed to the sun and asked, "See, did you see what that is?" The sun. "So how much further do you want to see then?" One day, a family got into the fire, and only the son is inside the house. And the mom was very anxious and asked the son, "The house is on fire. How come you don't come out?" "Oh, I'm wearing my socks." And the mom said, "Why are you wearing socks? It's already on fire." And the son's still not coming out. And the mom get really worried. "It's on a big fire now. How come you're still inside? Come out." And he answered, "Well, now I'm taking off my socks." So let me tell you, when it's truly urgent, you carry, the what's that called? The emergency pack. What do you call it? We already prepare that. That if there's an emergency, we just get that back and we can run away, like a life-saving pack, emergency bag. This is also a joke. I wasn't going to talk about it. A man and a woman is eating dinner, and the man kept asking the woman, "Do you love me?" Continue asking repeatedly. And then the woman just looked at him and continued her dinner. And then the woman finally couldn't bear it and asked, "So do you love me?" And the man said, "I love you." "And how do you prove it?" And the man took out $30 and asked the woman, "Do you have 10?" And the woman took the $10 for him. And he placed the $40 on the table. And after a while, the woman got really angry and asked him, Are you trying to prove that you love me or not? And the man said, I already proved it to you that the proof is right in front of your eyes. But the proof in Chinese sounds like 40. Do you know that women are really troublesome?
女人好麻烦，女人好麻烦。
Women are such a hassle.
男人，女人好麻烦。对呀，你想想看，
Really, women
不只是天天问
ask
哦，
every day.
每个月也问，
Not just every day,
每个星期
every
都问，
month, every
每一
week,
天都问。
every day.
再来，
They always ask, Do you
每
love
一个
me?
小时都问，
Some that
再
ask
来，
every
每分钟
hour,
都问，
and then every
再
minute,
来，每秒都问，
and every second.
再来那一句就是：女人好麻烦。
Woman is such a hassle.
真的，她天天都要
You
问
want the
你。
trouble. They have to ask you every day.
从年轻啊问到老，
From they're young until they're old. And they still ask even when they're old. And they ask in the morning, and they ask at night, and they
拿
ask during
40块钱
meals.
出来就好了。
And in the future, I will just take the $40.
40摆在眼前，
And the $40 is right in front of your eyes, which means
非常感谢法王
the
生
reality is right in front of your eyes. We are very grateful to His Holiness precious Dharma teachings.
到台下愚顺的弟子说再见。
Now, we would like
非常感谢大家的收看，阿弥陀佛。
this ends the English interpretation today. Thank you very much.